Welcome, watchers. I am Ponkulindran again. Today, the subject I am going to talk is about the Sri Lankan government's policies towards the ethnic communities and how far it has affected the present economic situation in Sri Lanka. Every day, the economy is going from bad to worse. This is what we see and protest at different uh, places and also by different professionals like the actors. I really appreciated Hiranika's uh, protest in front of the Godabaya's palace, and really she's a brave lady, and the way she was treated and immediately she was released. It has to be appreciated. I never expected a Sri Lankan woman will go to that level. Anyhow, the second point is we have heard enough news of deputation going to the Middle East, asking for financial help or get some discounted oil prices. The first place they went to is to Qatar. The Qatar delegation and the prime minister listened to him and told him point blankly, the way you treated the Muslim community during the COVID-19 by burning their corpses, violating their heritage methods, the Muslim method of janazas to being what you call buried, it really has hurt the entire Muslim world. When the WHO has given you clear instructions, you violated it. That shows your communal policies and the repeated ethnic riots. And also, you have staged the April attack, the Easter Sunday attack, and used a group of Muslims to do the attack. And they could not reply. And I heard that even in Kuwait, they were not being what they called accepted or given a verdict to support them financially. It will be worse in Saudi Arabia. So is in many Muslim world. Rashad Barid is one of the ministers who is no longer a minister. He once told them, you will get the impact of this from the Muslim world and on especially on getting any favors done. And that has come true. The second aspect of is that the way they treated the Muslim doctor in Kurunagala. Oh God. And finally, that man was completely acquitted and he got nearly about 2 lakhs of refund of the 1 year's pay. And he gave that money back to the hospital in Kurunagala. That's a great man. That's again a slap on the face of the government. And they are people of I would say they are like behave like stones, pillars, no brains, and very stubbornness. Now the Buddhist monks have up in arms. I am laughing at their protest. They are the people they brought him to power using the ethnic violence. Now they are up in arms because the people are against them. So the Buddhist monks know that when the people are against him, they will not tolerate them if they support Godabaya. And the other part of it is the drama staged by Mahinda Rajapaksa, saying that he is sick or he's dead or he's in the admitted hospital. All these are dramas staged by the Mahinda dynasty to cover up their sins. And his beloved son, Namal Rajapaksa, he talks rubbish on the Twitters. And he is trying to sin that he is innocent and he has not accumulated any wealth. These are the people who have ruined the country. First thing is the ethnic discrepancy or the ethnic policy of the government ruined the country. They never want to develop the northern provinces or eastern province. Now suddenly they have started developing the Palali port and the KKS harbor. And the stooge there is Douglas Devananda. That guy is a bloody idiot of the super degree. He's a stooge. And he is trying to think that he is going to be person who has introduced Palari Airport, International Airport, without knowing it was constructed by the British for the World War II. And KKS was functioning, and a lot of ships were bringing in food items. The other thing is the Trincomalee Harbour, which was not developed. Instead, they went and developed the Hambantota Harbour. Trincomalee Harbour is a natural harbour, and it was used by the British. All these were purely ethnically biased development work, which was not done, and that caused one of the downfalls. Even in the south, the policy now the Sinhalese have, I won't say 100%, at least about 30% of Sinhalese have now realized that they've been taken for a good ride by the Mahinda Rajapaksa government. This type of short-sighted policies. Now, still there are a few fellows shouting that, like Veeravansa, Vimal Veeravansa, he's another chronic case, and few people, they are thinking that he is more aligned towards the Russian or Chinese communist side. So he doesn't like India coming and helping Sri Lanka. But I could see from his statements, he is an uneducated guy who has not even passed his O level. And he was chased away from JVP for mishandling the finance, and then his wife has been sentenced to 2 years jail, and this case is still pending. We have some type of criminal cases pending, and some of the ministers, and that is the type of fellows that still we have it in the cabinet. And now Sajid Premadasa made few blunders in his decision making. Now he has corrected it, but it is little late. But Gotabaya is not going to allow him to come and take over and run the government. And Anurag Dissanayake, the JVP leader, he's a bright guy because he's a science graduate. I understand he is a physics graduate. And he talks sense. And now he is also trying to get hold of the Tamil community and the Muslim community. Because I have seen him going into Jaffna and talking about it. And also I saw the May Day rally where Sumantran and few TLF people also working with him. Now, socialist ideas are good so that we don't allow people to swindle the money. It has to be very strict. And the government service is another thing that is full of corruption. And that is one of the reasons why the country has gone for dogs. Too many staff. And that has to be cut down by 50%. And benefits have to be reduced. The number of holidays have to be reduced. Coming on to the third point is about the India's interest in helping the Sri Lankan government. There are so many predictions from the media. One day said that they are trying to take back Kachadevu. And people don't know the history of Kachadevu. Kachadevu belonged to Tamil Nadu, Ramanathapuram, Sedupati Maharaja. And British record shows that very clearly. It was given without the parliament's approval by Indira Gandhi to Srimava Bandaranaike. And it is before that, after the independence from 1947 till 1948 till 1964, when the what do you call the Kachadevi was in the hands of the Indian government or the Tamil Nadu, the fishing problems and everything that was not there. The church that is in Kachadevi was constructed by a Catholic from Ramanathapuram, Ramnad district. And nowadays people are claiming that Kachadevi is their property, Sri Lanka. It is legally not properly handed over to Sri Lanka because it was not passed through the parliament. So there is no question of India owning it. Second aspect of it is that the Advani starting projects in Mannar and islands and everything, windmills. There is a sort of a big, sorry, big uh, criticism from the Sinhalese few people who don't like India. But one thing is we have to understand that India is the only country. Of course, they have a lot of interest in Sri Lanka because most of their Indian workers are in tea estate, and also it has a heritage link with Tamil North and East, and also they have business people like the Chettiars and Muslim Marakas and all those people who came from India and developed the finance side of it. And at one time, Sri Lanka, before the independence, was under Madras presidency, and the Indian rupee was the Sri Lankan rupee. It is in the record. So there is no harm if India is sort of making North and East as a state of India. And if it happens, it's good for the North and East. And also it is good for the economy of Sri Lanka. And also it is uh, good for everybody. So this is another issue that has come up very recently. And but the if India could have um, Maldive Islands, not Maldive Islands, the Andaman Islands as one of the states, which is far away from India, why can't Sri Lanka be another state of India, which is only 30 miles from Sri Lanka, from India, southern coast of India? It is also good for the security of Sri Lanka and India, because otherwise the China will try to take control of India, to making use of trying to put in some development work in the islands in say, in northern province. These are issues. This has interlinked with the economic development of the country. But one thing is certain: the economy has gone to a level where it will take another 5 to 10 years to come back to its position. The last 74 years of the virus, which gradually grew because of the ethnic policies and the repeated ethnic riots and policies and people brain drain, and especially in 1983, there was a big drain of the professionals, and again now another big drain of the Sinhalese professionals. So the country is going from bad to worse. Who is responsible for it? One thing I would say the voters who voted for him. Second thing I will say the Buddhist monks who promoted the Rajapaksa dynasty, and now they are regretting. You can't have. You made a mistake. You have to pay for it. But to get rid of Gotabaya is not so easy. The constitutional wise, he will not resign until his period is over. Because he knows if he resigns, he loses his immunity. And there are people to finish him off. And the legal justice, internationally and nationally. These are issues that we are facing the economic condition. The immediate solution to the problem is not there. Even if Anurag Dissanayake says that he will bring back the country to within 6 months, it is not at all possible. Even Ranil is very shrewd. He is not committing. He is only telling that, yeah, it will take another 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Even by having an election, that means that the Lotus Bud party will be finished off. And who will come in? There's a good possibility that the JVP will come in. We might get a good number of seats, and so is the Sajid's party. And I can't predict about the Tamil TNA and the Muslim parties. And one more thing is that all those people who took um, say money from the Rajapaksa family and voted with them, they'll never come back. People like the Nasir from Eravur, and he's now a minister, and the Pulyan and this Byalin and all these stooges, and even Douglas, I have my doubt. So this is my view of the economic situation, and I feel very sorry for the people of Sri Lanka, and we can only help them in one way if the Sri Lankan government changes its policy. So long as they don't change their ethnic policy, then expatriate Tamils will hesitate to go and invest there. They should have a guarantee. There is no interference from the central government or from the governor of the northern and eastern province. That's a very important thing. Then only people can go and invest money, and that means dollar will go into the country and that will improve the economy. Thank you very much. Bye. It's phone clean.